Have you ever been stopped by someone who couldn't believe your age? Maybe they guessed you were years, even a decade younger than you truly are. At first, it feels like a compliment. But what if it's more than that? What if looking younger isn't just luck, or skincare, or good genetics? What if it's a reflection of your mindset, your emotional discipline, and your psychological resilience? In this video, we'll reveal 7 hidden traits shared by people who seem untouched by time. These aren't beauty hacks. These are deep truths rooted in Stoic wisdom and sharpened by life's challenges. Pay attention, because each habit you'll hear could be the reason why some faces age, while others endure with strength, clarity, and a quiet, timeless power. 1. Your mind is always curious. True youth doesn't come from creams or surgeries. It comes from a mind that refuses to go dull. A man who remains curious is a man who stays alive from the inside out. He doesn't allow routine to numb his senses. He doesn't sit still while the world moves. Instead, asks questions. He studies new ideas. He pursues challenges not because he needs to, but because his spirit demands growth. The Stoics believed that the mind must be exercised like the body. Neglected thought becomes weakness, and weakness, in time, shows on the face. Look around. You'll see men who gave up learning long ago. They speak the same way, think the same way, move the same way. Their eyes are tired. Their words are flat. Their lives lack fire. That is not aging by time, it is aging by surrender. But the man who stays curious, that man glows. You can see it in his posture, in his tone, in the way he engages the world. His energy is sharp. His presence feels younger, not because of fantasy, but because of focus. He keeps his brain alive, and his body follows. Science confirms what wisdom has always known. Mental stimulation strengthens the brain, delays decline, and slows aging. But curiosity goes deeper than just brain health. It's a state of being. It's the mindset of a man who refuses to go numb. He's fascinated by life. He doesn't assume he knows it all. He searches, he adapts, he creates, and that creation keeps him young. When a man stops being curious, he stops truly living. He becomes predictable. Predictability becomes routine, and routine, left unchecked, becomes decay. But the man who keeps his fire alive, the one who wakes up hungry for more, he maintains the sharpness of youth. So ask yourself, are you still growing, still learning, still expanding your mind? Or have you become stagnant, letting the years stack up while your inner world shrinks? Because if you stay curious, if you stay mentally alive, the world will see it in your energy. It will feel it in your presence, and your body will reward you with a youthfulness that cannot be faked. In a world that seeks shortcuts to stay young, the real secret lies in the mind, and a mind that never stops reaching will never truly grow old. 2. You have an unbreakable spirit. In a world where chaos breaks men down, the rare few who remain composed, who walk through fire and still carry peace in their eyes, stand apart. These are not men born with easier paths. In fact, they often carry the heaviest burdens. They have faced betrayal, abandonment, humiliation, and deep personal loss. But instead of allowing these wounds to shape them into something bitter, they forge themselves into something unshakable. Their youthfulness is not found in soft skin or perfect features. It is carved from within. It is the quiet reward of emotional mastery. The Stoics taught that the mind is the true battlefield, and those who lose that war lose everything. Stress, fear, resentment. These are not just emotions. They are corrosive forces that etch themselves into your face, your posture, your very aura. They create premature aging. They hollow out your presence. Look around and you'll see it. People who seem far older than their years, weighed down not by time, but by unchecked turmoil, their expressions hardened, their shoulders tense, their spirit dimmed. The body reveals what the mind tries to hide. Now, contrast that with the man who remains still when life tries to shake him. He doesn't shout. He doesn't panic. His power lies in what he refuses to give away: his calm. He understands that every blow life delivers is a test, and every test is a chance to prove that he cannot be broken. These men do not let fear or stress take root. They confront reality head-on and respond with action, not reaction. They don't let wounds fester. They don't seek pity. Instead, they rise again, deliberate, disciplined, and dangerous to anything that tries to wear them down. Their resilience is not loud. It's not performative. It shows in the silence after a loss, in the way they carry on when others would collapse. And that resilience manifests physically. It slows the aging process. It preserves vitality. Their faces hold a calm glow. Their eyes stay sharp. Their energy remains magnetic. People look at them and can't explain it. They just know there's something different about this man. Something timeless. Something that doesn't age. So if you've ever heard someone say you look younger than your age, it may not be your skin, it may be your spirit. Ask yourself, when the world struck you down, did you stay down or did you rise? Even when your soul was bruised, did you keep your word, your posture, your discipline when no one else was watching? That's the test. That's the reason. Because true youth isn't found in years. It's found in your ability to suffer without surrender, to hurt without becoming hard, and to endure with strength that doesn't need to shout. That is the ageless force of an unbreakable spirit. 3. You express your emotions freely. In a culture that teaches men to hide their pain, to suppress their feelings, to wear a mask of control at all costs, there is quiet strength in the man who refuses to carry emotional weight in silence. He doesn't explode. He doesn't perform. He simply acknowledges what he feels, processes it with discipline, and releases it without shame. This is not weakness. This is mastery. Because suppressed emotions don't disappear, they hide. They fester, and they turn into stress. And that stress carves itself into your skin, your posture, your energy. It accelerates aging in ways no mirror can hide. Men who bottle their rage, bury their grief, or swallow their disappointments often appear years older than they are. You can see it in the tension around their eyes, the tightness in their jaw, the weight in their presence. The Stoics never taught emotional denial. They taught emotional control. To feel fully, but not be ruled by feeling. To express pain, but not be consumed by it. That is the balance. That is the power. The man who ages well, the man who still looks alive in his 40s, 50s, or beyond, is often the man who has faced his emotions and made peace with them. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't wear a false smile. When joy comes, he laughs. When sorrow hits, He grieves. When anger rises, he confronts it with clarity, not chaos. And because of that, he walks lighter. His body is not weighed down by unspoken guilt, resentment, or fear. Emotional honesty is not indulgence, it is medicine, and it shows. Studies confirm what ancient wisdom knew: emotional suppression increases cortisol, weakens the immune system, and leads to premature aging. But emotional clarity restores balance. It clears the mind. It heals the body. It gives the face back its ease. So if people tell you that you look younger than your age, consider this. Are you honest with what you feel? Do you process your struggles, or do you bury them? Do you release what no longer serves you, or do you carry it in silence? Because what you hold in your heart will eventually show on your face. And a man who is emotionally free, who speaks when he must, who feels what he must, who moves forward, instead of bottling pain, he is a man who will remain youthful long after the years have passed. Not because he avoided pain, but because he had the courage to face it, to feel it, and then to let it go. That is emotional discipline. That is self-mastery. And that is what keeps a man truly young. 4. You embrace change instead of fearing it. There is a quiet power in the man who does not resist life's evolution, who does not cling to the past or tremble at what's new. While others panic at change, he adapts. He flows. He does not beg for the comfort of routine because he understands a truth that breaks many: what does not evolve decays. Most people age not because of time, but because they stop growing. Their minds become rigid, their habits harden, their curiosity fades, and slowly, so does the light in their eyes. But the man who welcomes change, who sees it not as a threat, but as a challenge, he stays sharp. He remains dangerous. Life throws him into unfamiliar territory, and he does not flinch. He adjusts. He studies. He recalibrates. And in doing so, he remains alive in a way few ever do. This mindset is not about being reckless. It's about being adaptable. The Stoics warned us, don't wish for things to happen as you desire. Wish for them to happen as they do, and you will find peace. And that peace is what slows aging. That acceptance, that fluidity, it protects your mind, your face, and your spirit. The man who embraces change doesn't dwell in regret. He doesn't say, I miss how things used to be. He says, what can I do now? That forward energy is magnetic. It keeps the body engaged. It keeps the spirit sharp. And it makes the face reflect life, not loss. Have you ever seen someone in their 60s who moves like they're in their 30s? Who smiles with curiosity? Who speaks with energy? Who lights up a room without trying? That's not an accident. That's the result of a man who kept evolving. He didn't fear getting older because he never stopped growing. He learned new things. He stayed open. He accepted that every change, every ending, was just a new chapter to master. And that mastery kept him young. So ask yourself, when life shifts, do you resist it? Or do you rise to meet it? Because those who resist change will grow old long before their time. But those who move with life, who keep stepping forward, even when the path is unfamiliar, will always carry a spark that cannot be aged. That spark is your edge. That edge is your youth. And that youth is not given, it is earned by the man who evolves. 5. You surround yourself with positive energy. The people you allow into your life are not just companions, they are influences. forces that shape your energy, your mindset, and your aging process. If you spend your time around individuals who constantly complain, criticise, or drain you with their bitterness, that energy doesn't just sit in the room, it sinks into your body. It tightens your muscles, weighs down your spirit, and over time, it begins to show in your face. You see it in the tired eyes, the furrowed brows, the defeated posture of men who've absorbed too much negativity. But a wise man understands this threat. He guards his circle like a fortress. He chooses to keep company with those who elevate his focus, who sharpen his mind, who speak life into his path rather than poison. This is not about avoiding hard truths, it's about avoiding needless destruction. Even the Stoics, who prepared for hardship and loss, emphasized the importance of companionship rooted in virtue, wisdom, and clarity, because energy is contagious, and if you walk among the bitter, you will carry their weight. But if you walk with those who live with fire, who speak with purpose, who carry joy without apology, you will rise with them. This kind of environment doesn't just improve your mood, it lowers your stress, regulates your nervous system, strengthens your immune response, and quite literally slows the physical process of aging. Science confirms what ancient wisdom declared. Connection matters, laughter matters, support matters. And when you are surrounded by people who remind you of your strength, people who encourage your discipline and honor your silence, you begin to carry that strength with you. You stand straighter, you breathe deeper, your face relaxes, and your energy becomes unmistakably youthful. So take inventory. Who around you feeds your strength? Who saps your clarity? Who brings chaos to your calm? Because every interaction is a deposit or a withdrawal. And a man who protects his energy, who surrounds himself with those who live with light, he doesn't just feel younger, he becomes younger, not by accident, but by alignment, not by illusion, but by intelligent design. That is the power of positive energy. And that power, once mastered, becomes the quiet force behind a man who does not age like the rest. 6. You let go of the past. Nothing ages a man faster than carrying what he should have released long ago. Regret, resentment, guilt, these emotions weigh down the spirit. And in time, they etch themselves into your body. You see it in the lines of a furrowed brow, the heaviness in the eyes, the tired posture of someone still chained to yesterday. But the man who has learned to let go, he walks differently. He moves lighter. His presence is calm. Not because life spared him, but because he refused to stay trapped in what he could no longer change. The Stoics taught us to accept what is outside our control and to focus instead on what we can govern: our choices, our responses, our perspective. A man who holds on to anger poisons his own mind. A man who clings to guilt drains his own strength. But the man who forgives, who releases, who moves forward without dragging the weight of what no longer serves him, he protects his energy, he preserves his power, and that protection keeps his face from hardening, his shoulders from slumping, his spirit from fading. Science supports this wisdom. Studies show that people who practice forgiveness and release have lower levels of stress hormones, healthier immune systems, and even longer lifespans. But more than that, they carry a visible ease, a lightness. Their presence is not haunted by old battles. It is centered, composed, and quietly powerful. Letting go is not weakness, it is strength. It is the ability to say, This no longer defines me. It is the decision to stop bleeding over wounds that have already closed. And in doing so, you reclaim your time, your focus, and your peace. So ask yourself, what are you still holding on to? What memory? What betrayal? What failure have you allowed to keep living inside you? Because every day you carry the past, you invite it to shape your present, and a man who lives in the past is never fully alive in the now. But the man who learns from pain, then releases it. He frees himself. He reclaims his clarity. And that clarity becomes visible in his eyes, his energy, and the way time seems to move slower around him. That is the final mark of a man who looks younger than his years. He is not haunted. He is not hardened. He is whole. Not because he was never hurt, but because he chose to heal, and that choice, made again and again, is what keeps a man unshaken by time. 7. You live with passion and purpose. Nothing drains the life from a man faster than living without meaning. You can see it in his eyes, the dullness, the fatigue, the sense that he's just passing time instead of owning it. A man without purpose ages faster because his spirit is disconnected from direction. He wakes up with no fire. He moves through his day with no mission, and slowly, that emptiness etches itself into his body. His posture slumps, his energy fades, and his presence becomes forgettable. But the man who moves with intention, the one who is lit from within by a purpose that challenges him, that stretches him, that fuels him, he walks differently. He speaks with weight. He thinks with clarity. He lives with a drive that keeps his soul alive. And that vitality reflects in everything he does. The Stoics believed that every man must know what he serves, whether it's a higher cause, a personal vision, or the pursuit of virtue itself, because a drifting life is a dying life. And a man who chooses purpose is a man who slows decay. When you live with passion, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, the very forces that preserve youth, boost your immune system, and restore your body on a cellular level. But beyond biology, passion gives a man reason to endure hardship, reason to stay sharp, reason to grow instead of surrender. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be famous. But you do need to be lit from within by something real. Whether it's your craft, your discipline, your mission, or your family. What matters is that you have a why. Because when a man has no why, he withers. If others, he becomes a shell. But the man who has a reason to fight, a reason to rise, a reason to stay focused, he becomes dangerous. Not reckless, but composed, unshaken. And that composure is what makes him look younger, feel stronger, and carry an energy that commands respect. So ask yourself, are you living by design or by default? Do you rise with a goal or simply drift through the motions? Because every day you live without purpose is a day your fire dims. But every day you act with intent is a day you sharpen your edge. And the sharper your edge, the slower time can dull it. A man with purpose walks through life like it belongs to him. And that walk, that power, is what keeps him ageless, focused, alive. So, if you've ever wondered why you look younger than your age, or why others seem drawn to your presence without knowing why, now you know. It's not magic. It's not vanity. It's discipline. It's emotional strength, mental clarity, and the silent decision to rise instead of break. Every one of these habits reflects a deeper truth that youth is not simply measured in years, but in the energy you carry, the thoughts you cultivate, and the way you respond to life's inevitable trials. If you live with purpose, if you remain curious, if you surround yourself with strength and speak your emotions with courage, your body will follow your mind, and your face will mirror your spirit. You will not only look younger, you will feel unshakable. So, keep walking with quiet power. Keep choosing discipline over distraction, purpose over comfort, peace over chaos. Because the man who lives this way, he doesn't age like the rest. He becomes timeless. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to your spirit, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your greatest weapon against time is not found in the mirror, but in the mastery of your mind. Stay strong, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next video.